Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 20 Quarterfinals. When do I think the next season is going to start? Depends. On how many signups we get when they open. And when the judgment is made that we should be opening next season signups. But yeah, hello everybody and welcome to Learn Dota 2 League Season 20 Quarterfinals. Dungeons and Dagons, a Ransoms team, taking on the Knights who say GG, Heroine. It's game 2. Heroine pretty resoundingly won game 1. Drow Ranger was not a stranger to any of the 4 guys who could just get on their face at the start of a fight. So, see what happens game 2. Who was the sub? Power was the sub in game 1. Luther's coming in now. Blue Jay continues to be out. On the Heroine team is replaced by I Drink Your Milkshake. So.
Radiant team back.
Somebody is despondent at this news.
10 seconds remaining.
And strategy thus far has been mostly the same.
5 seconds remaining.
Again, trying to just drop a hammer on that support line.
Dire team back.
Again, rounding out the Undying. Though this time it's them banning it instead of Ransoms. Or instead of Heroine.
10 seconds remaining.
Heroine has the opportunity to pick up the VS first here. I think I would do it if I was them, if I'm being honest. It's never really a bad game for the VS right now. It's not like VS is ever that bad anyway. I mean, even at her absolute worst, even when she's in the trash can, she still has swap. She still has a very basic, easy-to-use stun. She has Ember Spirit, which I'm assuming is the big comfort here for I Drink Your Milkshake. She got through this time. Pan out the Monkey King. Really just trying to hit average pin here, ignoring the rest of the lineup.
Ten seconds remaining.
Ember Spirit first is really scary. It's not bad or anything, but that is an easy first pick to punish, I think. It's not necessarily the guy who's going to get to do it, but hey, somebody gets to play. Hey, look, Dark Ace, it's Leaf playing Rubik. There you go. Just like you wanted to see. I mean, you didn't say it, but I knew you were thinking it. A Scar ban, Axe ban. Trying to get Ransoms back on that Centaur, perhaps? Wasn't really why they lost last time. So it's a little interesting to see them almost encourage him to do it. Unless they got something specific in mind, like the Ursa pick to make it bad. Which could come out. Has not been banned. No Dusa. It's kind of interesting. They must be picking the exact opposite of Anti-Mage. That's my guess.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Picking up the VS on Ransom's team this time. Not too bad a support duo. These two are going to be good in basically any game.
10 seconds
VS could be potentially a core. Though that seems to be becoming less and less popular as time goes on, I notice. At least among LD2L folks. Seems like the trend is to keep her support. So. We'll see how that goes.
Dire team pick.
Is Ransoms playing from Japan? Yes, he is. Picking the Ember without banning Huskar is bold. Well, you'll be glad to see what they did in the second round then, I guess.
Remaining.
Grim's interesting. Thus far, they don't have anything that actually pairs with it. Decent silence. Inkswell's always nice. Ember Spirit could definitely get some use out of it, but I feel like with the place Grimstroke is right now, you really, yep, there's the MVM. You really want to get your ducks in a row there. You really want to get your,
Radiant team pick.
There comes a Lich, and hey, that's a good combo with it, so there you go. You want to make use of every part of that Grimstroke pick, and, well, now they have. You know, well, we got this captive audience
10
again.
seconds remaining.
I do just want to reiterate one more time, and it absolutely,
5 seconds
definitely
remaining.
has nothing to do with the fact that I'm like 2 subs short of a payout right now. But subscribers, they never see those ads. Those annoying ads that pop up, I wish I could do this season without them, as I've done before, but unfortunately, in my position right now financially, I really could not do that. It's either have the ads or not do the season. Would have had to take a second job, right? If you subscribe, you never see them again.
Radiant team pick.
And if not, at the very least, sitting there watching them helps me out a lot. But if you sub, you are guaranteed to be really cool. Baden pick, very interesting. Don't really have anything
10 seconds
good or ill
remaining.
for the Abaddon yet. They don't have anything he's good against. They don't have anything that he's good
5
with.
seconds
I
remaining.
suppose the VS, just in the capability, she's good with like anybody. It's an interesting pick though. Not one I particularly like. You have a silence that you can't deal with the Aphotic Shield. Guess you can break out of the Lich stun with an ult. They don't really have anything else that's going to like stun you down. But your Aphotic doesn't really do much. Just stops the Lich Gaze, that's it. Not very good against the Ember Spirit, who's able to pick his fights against you pretty well. Once in a while he's going to get that Sleight of Fist and you're going to be trapped in it, but it's not every day. You got Amazon Prime, by the way. You can get an absolutely free sub
Dire
if you haven't
team
used that
pick.
already.
Wraith King.
Wraith King, huh? That's kind of funny. I hope we get to see a Baden pause 1, Wraith King pause 3. That would be awesome. Given that right now, a lot of the gears for the Dire's team fight are
10 seconds remaining.
very quick. You know, Ember Spirit is mostly his opening
5
burst.
seconds remaining.
Rimstroke Lich are obviously going to be tied to those ults. Given this team fight so far is sort of 6 seconds of doom. Wraith King's not a bad pick on that level, but I'm a little worried about what could be popping up to match it here. I mean, at the end of the day, they don't have a pause 1 or a pause 3 picked out on the heroine team, so that Wraith King could, just like the Abaddon, could turn sour pretty quick. Thinking a lot about it.
Dire team ban.
Gonna go for the Life Stealer again. That's a little unfortunate. I don't like this. Is like a much worse Life Stealer game than the other ones were, frankly.
10
He's not
seconds remaining.
really good into Abaddon in any capacity. I mean, at least Abaddon doesn't have that 4-hit silence
5
thing anymore.
seconds
But
remaining.
it's not very good. I think the Curse of Avernus goes through your Rage, the reworked version of it. So, kind of an awkward guy to fight in lane. His HP is not going to be the way he's tanky. It's going to be his skills. So you're not going to be, like, blowing him up in lane. Good against the Wraith King, but not, like, amazingly good. The Wraith King could
Radiant
definitely
team
win that
back.
matchup. The swap, just like the Drow for the last game, funnily enough, the swap is scary. Swap can be bad. Again, goes right through that rage, no matter what you do. So you can definitely end up in a scenario where you
10
pop out, you get
seconds remaining.
swapped, and things go bad.
Radiant team ban.
Suppose the strategy Ransom's team is looking at here is like using the Abaddon ult to soak the worst of the big opening of team fights, having the Wraith King reincarnate with it. Which would pretty much nullify at least two of those heroes. Ember Spirit, even if he is mostly that big opening barrage, he does still have things to offer afterwards, especially if the fight goes on particularly long and stuff can reset again, which his cooldowns are short enough to make that happen. Looking at pause 3s on the Ransoms lineup, which isn't surprising. Just banning out some Heroine classics. Heroine himself banning out some mids. Doesn't want to see that that Quap again. It's probably not a bad decision to make here.
10 seconds remaining.
Reasonably speaking.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Yeah, Slice Stealer goes ult, the Ink swells, who's that? But most of the other things on this lineup, they make me sweat for them.
Ten seconds remaining.
Guess you do have the awkward thing of two guys who want to build Radiance right now on the Radiant. Going to be a very irradiated team. Nearly run out the whole timer here on Heroine.
Radiant team pick.
The ultimate result's going to be Darkseer. That's interesting. If he can play this hero, I like a lot of things about this pick. The Grimstroke is pretty much out of this play at this point, right? Like, the Grimstroke ult is pretty easily dealt with. The Inkswell is nice, but this is a shell of what it used to be, basically. So the fact that Darkseer is not really doing much with that is mostly okay. I guess the ult tying you together on Grimstroke, you might get some cool vacuums that way, but for the most part, what? Oh my god, is it going to be core VS support Abaddon? Is that the way we're going here? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. This is a much better looking Abaddon game than it is a core VS game, I think. So you're going to be doing, just by design, you're going to be doing a lot of fights where you're going to be swapping the Life Stealer into a bad spot. Drow's kind of bad for the same reason it was in the last game. It's less bad this time. Because you don't have four guys who are going to be jumping on her head. But realistically speaking, if we're being honest with ourselves in this world, Ember Spirit can definitely still just get on top of this, off the Drow's head. Life Stealer Bomb on top of the Drow's head. Even Darkseer, if he wants to get a blink, can just get, blink right on top of the Drow's head. The good news is that they still have a team fight if that happens, because they still have the Wraith King and all that. Would have had the Abaddon too, and a hypothetical alternate reality, but, you take what you can get. Still gonna have a fight at that point. I guess if I'm being fair, the VS pick at least has the ability to go Ghost, so, that's just a third thing that's going to survive the opening barrage. So it is going to put sort of a, assuming that she doesn't just instantly double die, which is a distinct possibility. So you do have three cores on the on the Radiant here who are going to survive the... Three heroes are going to survive the opening barrage, rather. The VS, the Wraith King, the Abaddon. Wasn't really counting the average pain, or not the average pain. Wasn't counting the VS earlier because it was presumed to be support, but there is that element to it. Still don't really like it. I feel like, again, you're just gonna. I think the common trend for the VS is going to be just instant double dust. Mutual smoke here. Both teams are going to just barely miss each other, funnily enough. Rubik has spotted the other guys. Pings are flying out everywhere. Stun coming out from Wraith King on the Lich. It's messed up immediately. Trying to go for the Ember Spirit on the back line here now. And he is dead. First blood. Abaddon very swiftly follows. The Rubik is next. Then the Lice, then the Dark Seer, then the VS. This is very bloody, 2 for 3 here. Law wants another kill. He is very slightly faster than Wraith King, but Wraith King has a stun that he can't do anything about. Yep. Ransom's kind of got pathing owned there. And he is going to make it to this tower, okay. 2 for 3! Kills. The Radiant secured 3 bounty runes. Overall, a win, if a small one for the Radiant. I don't think it's actually pretty much stalemate, but the Radiant are ahead, so let's just say a small win for the Radiant. Take a look at our last hits chart here. The Drow worries me enough that I'm going to say this is probably another game where the Die are going to have the advantage, even if that, like, the support line is kind of knocked out. But I don't think this is nearly as bad of an outdraft as last game. I could definitely see either team winning this pretty handily. Heroine is just going to do the classic annoying Darkseer plays against the Drow here. Kind of an ineffective lane matchup for her. Or for him, rather. I was right the first time. Ineffective lane matchup for the Darkseer, who has one ranged core, who's not going to be getting hit by the Ion Shell, and one melee support, who's not going to care about your Ion Shell too much, so kind of awkward. Gonna get rid of the Wraith King here again. Very bad lane for the Wraith King, I will say that much. Like, not only did he come into it already mostly dead, but it's just the Life Stealer Lich combo. Really not something he wants to deal with, I don't think at all. Leave nearly dead. Watkins super low. Yeah, he's okay. He had a massive magic wand. He is going to go down here. I hope he was worth it, he says. It kind of wasn't, if I'm being honest. That took a very long time, and Drow did miss a pretty good chunk of creeps, but it wasn't like a bad thing. It was just probably not really worth the time investment. He's kind of owning the mid lane so far. 5 last hits up, 4 denies up. These Embers got a pretty good range creep secure. To get the distraction action going on so that VS can't get that range creep, but he trades about half his life bar for it. He already has a bottle, but VS doesn't, so doesn't matter that much. Going to trade is ultimately, because of that, probably just going to barely favor the Ember Spirit. Well, just in general mostly favoring the Dire right now. The Wraith King in particular is like almost not even in this game. Oh no, the stupid Centaur is at it again. Giving Lifestealer the assist on a kill on the Rubik. Oh, Wraith King is going to turn around with a kill on the Lich here. Well, they're going to trade supports. Heroine maybe also going to go down. Doom, he's not careful here. No, but he's going to be fine. Going to be very low, and yeah, he's just going to go to spawn. At least he's a guy with funny little speed up ability, so the walk of shame back won't be too bad. Won't be like taking forever. It's getting worse. 10 last hits up for the VS now. Just gotta deny during Sleight of Fist, which is always sad for the Ember Spirit. It's looking pretty low though. Going for this water, I'm gonna get it pretty well. Playing a very aggressive lane here top. The Lifestealer and the Lich are. Which is a right call. They're definitely putting the thumb down on the Wraith King. Once again, it feels like the off lanes are kind of in the bad spot here on both sides. Heroine really does not have that many last hits. Not as many as a Darkseer would like to have. Not as many as a Lifestealer would like to have, that's for sure, but Darkseer would also like to have a little bit more than this at least. Drow been doing pretty good at just getting a decent amount of last hits, about keeping the damage on the right part. Doing a lot of pulling in this lane, which I suppose they certainly have the right to. Physical Dragon so low, he is going to pop here. Another kill for Ransoms. Lifestealer, going to protest this, but I can't really do that much. He's going to turn it around for him, so that's good. Momentum is kind of going towards the Wraith King here, kind of away from the Darkseer. At this point, poor I Drink Your Milkshake is just getting kind of owned here. This is getting, like, really bad. 38 last hits on the VS, 18 last hits on the Ember Spirit. It is rough. Leaf wants to come in for a potential kill here, but Average Fiend is kind of out of juice. So he's just going to have to be happy securing the rune.
Double damage.
Leaf picks up the double damage. See a kill on the Lifestealer top, actually. Still see a kill on the Ember Spirit mid, though, as well. It's a good play by Lich Lifestealer. They see that the Rubik is not here. Immediately just run at the Wraith King, get him knocked out. Takes a little bit of that momentum out of him here. I'm not really sure why this happened, but Abaddon has found Watkins way in the back of the line here. We're going to take out most of this guy's HP. Let him run for the hills. It's nearly 7 minutes. It's nearly time for the Wisdom Shrine. That man is level 2. It's not going to be a great game for old Grimstroke. Drink some Lich. Not a big deal, but what are you going to do? Oh man, they're actually diving tower here for Heroine. They're going to get it done too. Death for him. And walking upstairs here, tries to get to the Wisdom Shrine in time, doesn't quite make it. Which is going to TP in to try and help win the fight, and it is going to be a success. Abaddon has no mana whatsoever, but Drow is going to get a revenge kill in that mess, so kind of turns to a stalemate unless they can kill the Drow here, which they are! Great first ult by Lich, just hit level 6.
It's 6 feet down.
And he gets told to watch, and then Drow gets told to watch her stop. Feels like lane phase is already basically over at this point. It is 8 minutes. Lifestealer really is wasting his time doing a camp like this. It's one of the nice things about Lifestealer, is that when this happens to you in lane, you don't have to go to this crappy little camp here. In fact, this crappy little camp sucks. You have those little ice ghosts there that slow you down when you attack. You can absolutely just, like, go over here, get these golems. You could, like, go over here and mess with their pole camp. I'm thinking you'll be fine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm gonna go down here. Leaf tries to just secure here mid. Doesn't quite find anybody. Average P and just with this desperation swap, it's going to get knocked down in this 1v3. Golden Dragon only now showing up to mid. Definitely too late. Would like to see him stick pretty close to here, get that XP for level 6, which it looks like he's gonna do. And Watkins silence the creep. Or he's gonna go home. Just do a quick regen of himself here. Going to put a lot of pressure on the Lich, but oh man, actually pressure did nothing. Death has no grip on the Wraith King. It's about to have a grip on the Lifestealer though, who eats the wrong side of VS's TBN. Venge Breath finds a Lich, but Swap is not going to be able to get rid of that. Ember Spirit calls for an assault on the T1 here. Only Abaddon is actually in this lane, so you can see why he would be doing that. Meanwhile, Drow is just so done with this lane that she's just pushing out the T1 very casually at this point.
Tower is under attack.
Arcs out for the Rubik. Ransoms does definitely need to be a little careful with how he's going to position himself here. He doesn't have reincarnate for a very long time. He's a very large wand. Very large Lich ult. The Rubik is going to just kind of tank through that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Wraith King had kind of a good idea. Oh no, they didn't see him? That's a little surprising. Manages to get out with his life.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Look at the net worth chart here, no surprises. I guess maybe the biggest surprise is that it's pretty close for the most part. VS and Drow and Lifestealer are grand ahead of everybody else. That's all that's happening. The Ember Spirit is in poverty. Again, no great surprises. Ban rolls in lid here to bail out old average pan. Used his ult in this process. Oh no, okay. Getting a little bad for VS. She's just sitting around here very low. Would really like to see a Batten just start chucking mist coils at her, even if they're only level 1.
Rune of invisibility.
Chuck some mist coils, chuck some Urn of Shadows on that bad boy. He's gonna get caught here by the Ember Spirit. He's like, okay, that's a pretty gregarious use of the old swap there on VS. He's gonna get the job done. Abaddon lives. Drow at this point is just going to, just murder this bot T1. Everyone trying to do the world's largest ancient stack here in the jungle. He's gonna do it, but it's gonna come out a little slow. He's going to get him back on pace with everybody, though. You know, it's going to cost him basically his entire life.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Thanking God by name that the Radiant never decided to check this particular triangle. Goodbye, Ransoms. Died 17 seconds left on his ult. That's pretty bad. Drow decided to come top because she's decided one lane of towers wasn't enough.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has
Gets
fallen.
top T1, gets bot T1. Drow's a menace to buildings.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Big lag spike for no reason. There we go, back into the game. I like that. Just stun the Ember Spirit in order to not lose his tower here.
Radiant's bottom
They still are pretty threatening on that VS. Swap, but really needed to swap on the Rubik, not on whoever the hell she just swapped with. Still in a lot of danger. Just barely getting out. Ransoms having to run in here. Actually pulling Drow out for this. Going to ultimately just get the support line. Heroine is running around the back lines of us. Gonna put up a wall. It's going to just kind of very casually just get the Wraith King. That's about it. Batten is going nuts trying to get some work done behind the T2 here. Really just needed, like, yeah, just keep tanking tower hits if you're gonna just accept your fate and ult. Quick, run into the Darkseer wall. Nope. Yes! Everybody gets together to kill that illusion for the King's ransom of 5 gold. 1,304 gold changes hands. It's a little disappointing that literally half of that was on Rubik. What are you going to do? And I did not order this to happen. Look at the Lifestealer. They stacked their stuns. They got the ult there from the wall, but it didn't do anything. They cannot kill this man right now, not without the VS there.
Middle tower is under attack.
The VS was there, just not quite in time, unfortunately. Wraith King pretty near the Radiance. It'll be pretty late, but what are you gonna do? I feel like I'm asking that a lot this game. There are many questions of what one is going to do here. Drow, I believe, is bringing in Manta right now, or she's sending the courier home. Never mind. Wants to start with the Dragon Lance. Doing a little worse than you'd think with how well the lane was going, but not terrible. Especially compared to poor old Lifestealer, who's Well, I thought he was pulling in his Radiance, but no, he is not done yet either. He's about on the same base for Radiance as a Wraith King is, which is kind of funny. Ember Spirit here. Going to find himself bonded. Swap gets him killed. Very nice. Just a good kill here by Average Being the supports. Going to pop the smoke. Look at bot here. Lich and the Darkseer making an assault on bot's T1 for Radiant. Rupik is going to find Darkseer here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Darkseer getting pretty hammered, getting tied up in the Ember Spirit chains for ages, for his whole life there. He's going to attempt to get himself killed on the creeps, and the Radiant almost let that happen, but was not the case, luckily for them. He's going to pick up a mechanism after he goes down. Vanguard mechanism. 3-man smoke on the Dire. What worked for Radiant, I suppose, will now work for them. Reincarnate now up on the Wraith King. About 2k from the Relic, or from the Radiance here. They're going to put a lot of work into saving the Drow. It is not actually going to pan out. Just too much stuff here, and not really the right guys. Average Bean still wants to keep things going, but his team doesn't really. And now Average Bean is gonna die. That's really bad. Just pause 1, pause 2 for nothing there. Not a good play.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Kind of awkward. This is kind of what you lose when you have a P3 that is just like a P1, is you cannot really bring Wraith King to a fight that looks like this. He's just kind of free farming down bot right now. So, you know, when you want to be aggressive and all forward, you just can't be.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Nice going to show up. He's finished his Radiance. He's actually out farmed the Wraith King here. Leaf drops a another Darkseer wall, but this one really just no avail at all.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Wraith King is in here now. He really has no great reason to be yet. They really need more manpower to take this fight. BS walking here. 4 seconds to the TP scroll. Not that that's worth doing at this point anyway. Ban goes ding. Wraith King ult still available. They see the VS. They immediately turn tail, start heading home. Lifestealer's actually coming into this fight though. Lifestealer's trying to cut her off the pass. All they're going to do is trade supports, which is just like not good at all. Steeler gets pretty low, he still has Assault, and he's going to jump inside of Darkseer. Really Glimmer, so I don't have a great idea where he is. Wraith King, no Reincarnate. Definitely going to want to be careful here. VS. Oh man. Okay, Wraith King just walked into the Darkseer wall for no reason and died. That is really bad. Might be that Japan ping hitting him here. And is going to help take out the Lich who walks behind the tower here, but very small recompense. And once again, Dire heads for higher ground with this battle basically complete, but Heroin gets swamped. He tries to run away, just gets stun locked there. Very long winding fight. Ultimately, 3 for 3. Everything all said and done. I don't know if they got Wraith King on the second life. Yeah, they did. He walked into the Darkseer wall. It's favoring Dire, not by much. And we're not going to show the third kill for a while. This is a pretty bad place for Watkins to be, and it's an equally bad place for Luke to be, as Average Bean helpfully points out. And not afraid to be frontlining here against the Ember Spirit, but his team are a little afraid to backline against him, funnily enough. The bad ult's gonna hit top. Radiant's gonna call for the retreat. Feels like this team needs like an Orchid or something. Pretty desperately. Like, this Ember does not have a defensive item. He's not even building one anytime soon. All these guys are just always able to pop all the spells they want. They have Greaves on the Dark, so you're gonna have to think about that. Like, all these guys just get to pop all their skills at all times whenever they want. You know this guy's not going to build, like, a BKB unless he has to, right? Like, It's a very good looking Orchid game. I think I'd like to see it on perhaps the VS here. Darkseer wall really hasn't had anything, but they're going to chase the VS behind the lines here. Gonna trade at best. Ben's going to go down. Drow in the back line. Definitely not going to feel too good about getting that kill on old Watkins if she goes down here. Very likely. No, she's gonna be fine. Silence comes out on nobody. They're having a crazy one right now.
Dire's courage has been killed. Radiant's middle
That's kind of
tower
funny. You
is
got the
under
vacuum,
attack.
or not the vacuum. You got the surge on Rubik. Tower is 8 HP. Too much to be denied. And now it's deniable because that catapult just ran past everything and shot at it. Would like to see that happen. Ag's now up in the VS. Deny it. Deny it. You're standing right next to it. Deny it. Come on. There we go. Almost died of a Lich Illusion because they were hesitating so long to do that. Wraith King Radiance is still not out. He could get it right now, though. He really got set behind by those casual deaths. It's really rough to have that happen to you as a Pottsford Wraith King. Big reason why you usually do the Sacred Relic first, because when you are having to save up so much for an item like that and having to pop out in the fights, it feels really bad to just, you know, lose 200, 300 gold every time. Radiance is now out for him, 21 minutes. Pretty rough. You know, looked like he was going to have it at the same time as Lifestealer, and he got it, like, 5 minutes later, right? Like, it's pretty bad, but... Not ungodly. He's still hanging out above the Ember Spirit here, and has better ability to keep pace with him. So... Yeah, Ags is out looking for the shard
Dire
next.
are scanning.
Dire are scanning. Fine,
Radiant's
nobody
bottom
there.
tower is under attack.
Luth is casually farming. He actually bought BKB really early this game, which is a little crazy.
I'll take that.
Darkseer, like, makes a stack here in the jungle, I guess? I'm not really sure what he's doing. I guess that creep is still Ion Shelled, even though we can't see it. So he just makes that camp crap. The double silence on the VS here. Okay, you've got the silence out on the Ember Spirit, but... Oh man, he's just going down like he's made of butter. He's having to play this so cautiously, and he's gonna die anyway. Double kill for Wraith King. I heard reincarnate sounds earlier.
Radiant's bottom tower.
4 for 1 there. Not that the fight recap's gonna tell you that. 4 for 1 as a result. Very good trade for Radiant there. Very good display of the Radiance power for the Wraith King. Did not even lose a VS as low as she got.
Dire's middle
Had to
tower
debut that
has
9-second BKB on the Drow, but she's probably fine with that. Not building a Manta Style anytime soon, interestingly enough. Despite having the Yasha for it. Wraith King has his Blink, Lifestealer has his S&Y. King's pretty much caught up with these guys here at the front. Darkseer has as well, but both offlaners have done a very good job to recover here. Despite how badly they started. Of course, it's going to mean a little bit more for the Wraith King than it is for the Darkseer, for what I hope are obviously reasons. Darkseer has his own Blink Dagger, so it's another option to get on Drow. He's going for a Crimson Guard here, which against a lineup that's going to have so much right-clicking power, you definitely want to see that. It's like, they got right-clicking power, but outside of the Wraith King, it's not overwhelming yet. It will one day be when the Drow builds the Ags, but she's not even dreaming of that yet, so... Once the Drow gets set Ags, though, that Crimson Guard is just kind of dust. But, hey, you know, what are you going to do? You kind of accept that every time you build a Crimson Guard, that at some point in the game, it's going to lose most of its efficiency and just be a small buff that's going to mostly help you against, like, the support lines or whatever, but... That's just reality with the item.
Never refuse gold given.
A see Ember here. Doing a good job so far not setting the stuns. He is going to be able to get out, though. Yes, again, not quite there in time. Keep running too far ahead of her, you know? And the entire Dire is going to be here. They're going to see La. Skirmish with them a little bit, ultimately not commit to anything. They want to go south instead. They see Grimstroke here. They drop the stun on him, can't really get the job done, or decide that maybe Lich is a better target. Unfortunately for them, even though they go for the Lich immediately, the ult still comes out just fine. Drow is going to silence the Ember Spirit here, and he's gonna eat it. She's going to swiftly follow due to Lifestealer related reasons, but Lifestealer actually might go down himself? Maybe? Where is my Wraith King? There he is. Took him a million years to get into this part of this fight, even though this is really where he should have been. 5 for 3 is the final score. Just awkward. When they didn't get the stun on Lich, they should not have committed to it, really. I think that's just the long and short of it. Felt like the Drow just kind of gave up and accepted her fate as well. Which didn't feel nice, but... 5 for 3, obviously going to favor the Dire, though notably nobody could really use the money survived, which is a little bad, but... Everyone walked away with a chunk of change. Is going to... He's decided against... Oh no, he has gotten the Crimson Guard. He just got that off the back of the fight, and is now working on a pipe next. Radiant really does not do, like, any magic damage yet. I think this is magic damage. But no, I don't know. Yeah, it's a bad pipe game. I would not be doing it here. The only thing you really get out of the pipe is stopping some of the, like, Rubik skills that he can steal, which is like, just don't use skills that let him nuke everybody, you know? Just don't let him steal the Lich ult. That's what you're really buying that for. You're buying pipe in case Rubik steals Lich ult. That's what you're getting. Radiant looking at Tormentor here. One hit are pretty likely to get it. On the other hand, are going to be very near the Dire when they're doing this, and they're going to be short Rubik.
The rune of haste.
This could be bad. This is going to be really bad. Blue Jay me again? Yep. I think I forgot to do predictions for this game. Whoops. Oh well. Somebody should have said something in chat, probably. Trade supports here. Like, that's about it for the most part. I'm gonna try and pursue this, try and get more. It's a very risky pursuit. You do have the ult on the Wraith King still. Good swap. He is going to get the heroine killed. Lich ult mostly just comes down on, like, the targets you would really not want it to. No! Gold Dragon! Anyway. Lich ult really just comes down on the people you wouldn't want it to. It doesn't really matter here. So, once again, they're going to lose the Ember Spirit at the very least on the cleanup crew duty. That's kind of it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I did totally forget to do a prediction. Dark Ace was talking about the predictions and didn't say anything when I forgot to do them. That's a big shame. VS is a psychopath for just walking out this. And, like, yeah, I mean, what did you think was going to happen? She might get the... Yeah, she's definitely going to get the... okay. Well, never mind. Cancel that okay. What? Cancel that TP more like? Okay. The Sealer not done here yet, it seems. Ransoms does still have ult, so he's not going to actually die. Everyone does as well. He is crazy the way he's staying in this fight on the Wraith King. Wow, okay. Japan ping or what? I mean, I don't know what the hell that was about. Just rough. The way that you're taking these fights feels just bad. Drow needs a shard. That's definitely the case right now. Drow just needs that shard, needs that ability to just stand on her little hill. Because every fight, it's not even like some big dramatic like leap on top of her head. It's not like they're getting like dropping like an Inksfeld Lifestealer bomb on top of the Drow Ranger. Every fight what's happening is Lifestealer just walks past everything else, walks up to Drow and kills her. That shard helps a lot with making sure that doesn't happen. So definitely think it'd be a worthwhile investment for her at this point. Probably more worthwhile than this. Pipe nearly done on the Darkseer. That will be a very expensive item to not help basically at all. I guess it also diffuses a little bit of the radiance damage. So there's that. But again, that's really not what you want to do with that thing. Both teams kind of messing around the road a bit here. They're going to swap in the Grimstroke, get rid of them. Troll goes out, gets the VS, gets the Wraith King. VS is going to go down. Wraith King is going to stun an illusion. Vacuum kind of swing and a miss there. Rubik's going to make some parallel lines as the VS gets knocked out of the fight. La is kind of in danger, but he's just so fast, and they have so little to do about that. He's just able to get out pretty reasonably. Watkins actually bought back to take part in this fight again. Does die back, but does not look like it's going to matter. Ambitious TP on Abaddon's part. All those stuns, it's kind of hard for him here. Ember Spirit wants a high five, Abaddon will not deliver. 3 for 4 there. I guess, yeah, 3 for 4 because the Grimstroke diebacked into that, but still a very big win even despite that. Pretty much just moved money from the Grimstroke to the Lifesteal, which is never really bad. Building an Orchid on the Wraith King now, and, you know, it's the old phrase, better late than never, in effect. See if that does anything at this point. It might, because there still aren't really that many, like, purges, no BKBs or anything. No BKB on the Ember Spirit, nothing on the Lifestealer. It's going to help him dodge that, so that's still going to be a spike. The game's not over yet. It's only a 1k net worth advantage, despite how awful it's looking for the Radiant. Though, in fairness, a lot of that has to do with the Grimstroke buyback. You know, the sad thing is that, frankly, a pipe would be much better on the Radiant than on the Dire, but nobody on the Radiant could really build that.
Arms for the dead.
It's kind of weird, kind of awkward. So on the Radiant, you got the Ion Shell damage to deal with, you got the Ember Spirit magic damage to deal with, the burst from his ult in particular. He's not building the Ags, but he's building like he's going to get it. It's going to help you with the Radiance, which is still pretty small potatoes. It's going to help you with the Lich Hold, which is big potatoes. Looking at more Watkins again. Lich Hold this time is just going to fall right on the Wraith King alone. Not really going to do much. The VS is going to get jumped on by the Lifestealer, and you won't believe what happens to Drow next. This time, though, she's not just sitting there letting it happen, so there's that at least. Not that she has that great of ability to not let it happen, but you know. Doing everything they can to keep her alive, as, again, the Dire just ignores everybody else to run for her here.
Radiant's top tower is
1 for 2, looks like that was good for the Radiant. It was actually good for the Dire for the most part, because the 1 is a VS, and now Wraith King's just going to get himself killed. Maybe? Apparently not.
Radiant's top tower
Back in
is
the
under
fight.
attack.
Still trying to commit to this, still trying to keep it going, but I think it's probably a bad idea on the Radiant's part. They do not have Reincarnate, loot is still very low, and still not... Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. Tackest pause of all time, lag, okay. Lag. Oh, what an annoying time for that. Look at this graph going back and forth. Crazy swings here. Let's look at some inventory, see if there's anything we didn't catch. Nope, looks like we're pretty much up to date on everything. Got a Blink Dagger in the Rubik. That's not too surprising. Pipe is finished in the Dark Seer. Not like I expected to do all that much. Shiva should be done pretty soon on the Ember Spirit. My Steeler's just balling, just going crazy. Yeah, nothing too crazy for items here. And Drow in the thick of it again. Actually swap her out this time. I was going to say, okay, I'm fine with the VS. Wraith King is going to eat a solo Grimstroke ult and a solo Lynch ult, and that's going to be just fine because he's going to die of it anyway, and he has no Reincarnate, so rest in peace to him. This is weird, man. Wraith King positioning in these fights and such does not feel great, unfortunately, for him. I think what it really is that it just feels like they just don't have a tanky enough front line to keep the Drow protected. When the world looked like this was going to be a game with Wraith King 1 and a bad 3, you had plenty of meat on that core line, but VS Ghost is going to get a little bit done there, get through the Lich, gets killed immediately afterwards. Not going for her own BKB, which is interesting. Drow is going to get pulled right in front of the dire lines, but item usage, including her own, is going to get her out. My Steeler gets Lich pulled to the wrong side of the tower. Not like anything bad is really going to happen. Where's our Glyph here? Like Glyph and they all start taking damage. There it is. Somebody's listening to me. Lifesteal is going to go down. That's his Aegis, but that's also kind of the first time he's died in a very long time. He's going to hit Rage and try to run. They swap him back in, but again, he's just so fast. They just can't do anything about that swiftness. We're just going to fly back again. Wraith King in here on the Lifestealer. But I'm the king. Another swap is going to come out, but nobody's even looking at the Lifestealer anymore. Everyone is going to town on heroin now. Ah, great fight recap to top us off here. Am I going to kill on Watkins? Definitely going to kill on Watkins. Such a bloody game. 82 kills in 36 minutes. Everybody's dying. Drow Daedalus is almost done. My Steeler has his Ags.
Regeneration.
If King has a regen rune, he's getting his Orchid pretty soon. My Steeler has a Mantis style, so you're gonna have to be conscious about using that on him. But you can always Orchid the Lich or the Ember Sphere and be okay in a fight. Because Lich ults are playing such a big part of these fights. Like, they are why this game is going as bad as it is. Nobody can stand up to them. When the Abad moved from core to support, somewhere in the pick phase, which maybe he never was there, but when the Abaddon was a support, it really did mean that you just have these two really squishy heroes. You have, in the form of the VS and the Drow, you have the Rubik, who is very squishy himself. Almost get the Lifestealer caught there. That would have been really bad for him. Well, they don't have the Basher, and they cannot get through the Magic Immunity. Again, not without VS, who was not there yet. VS going for AC. Supports about to bump into each other. We're gonna get rid of the Sobs for quick D-ward. Reincarnate up on the Wraith King again. Now that Drow has finished her Daedalus, she has nothing left to purchase.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
She's decided she's done. Oh, she's gonna finish Manta, finally. I do think that might have helped her out quite a bit in the lead up to this. The early BKB, make no mistake, was a good idea. But the problem is since getting that early BKB, you know, it's down to 6 by now, right? And the Dire are just able to wait out 6 seconds and then just chain stunner then. You know, the Radiant's not really able to kill anybody in the span of the Drow BKB, and she often is using it to just hit BKB right-click fountain. Not doing any damage during that time. I guess the Ember Spirit's pretty much out of the affair here. I mean, Ember Spirit right now has nearly support net worth. Bad news is, so is a VS, who has been trading her life very liberally in these fights. He really did almost trade a slot for a slot here. Like, Ember Spirit is pretty much gone, but also the VS is almost a support. Like, even with all the stuff that she has, she's like she's got very low impact in these fights. She just cannot win things. It does not feel good. I will say, Dire taking a very long time to let the Radiant catch their breath. Probably to Radiant's favor. I mean, building up the Ember Spirit to the point where he's back is pretty important, but like, if you look at the rest of the team, well, Wraith King massively outscales the Darkseer, even if Darkseer can use his scaling against him. VS is going to... I don't know how that scale competition will work out with the Ember Spirit. It's hard to judge in my head, but it is a competition at the very least. If it goes super late, Abaddon's going to outscale anything they have on the support line, so...
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Getting himself the old 40-minute Holy Locket. They knocked out Rubik's Courier, which had a Slam and Strawberry in it, which he was looking for Ags with. It's not going to delay him, though. He wouldn't have had it anytime soon anyway. But he will soon have 2 stolen spells. There's one bit of good news for the Radiant. It's not like they were like really winning fights or anything, so it's not that great of news. The Lifestealer is pretty much done. He's got Ag's Blessing, probably gonna replace that with some description of Blink. No Ag's Drow. That's true, yeah. Wasn't even thinking too hard about that, but that is true. Report. But Lifestealer has some manner of thing to replace with Ag's Blessing, probably a Blank Dagger of some kind, and as Ag Shard, and I guess the End of Loose Life. Oh yeah, it is all said and done. Ups the BKB, BKB does nothing. She is a stain on the floor. They think about pulling in to help her out, but she's just way too far away from anybody. Just to put the victory a little further out of reach here. Smoke's coming out once again on Lich, because, I mean, they just fell for it, so why not do it again? Dire and Roche, Radiant really can't respond to that. Yeah. It's probably a big part of the reason that the Drow feels just so unable to do anything in these fights. But again, she really needs both Ag's things. Again, it is not really acceptable that with no Blink Dagger and not using anybody else to like get there, the Lifestealer can just perfectly consistently, every time, every fight, just walk up to the Drow. No nothing. Invisibility is invincibility. The support line here, oh, Ransoms. Support line here is gonna bully the Wraith King. Gonna get him to pop his BKB. CN 90. Darkseer. Going to get his Ion Shell stolen. They're not going to care too much about that. AC completed on the VS. Using the Ember Spirit to front line here. He's going to get punished hard for that. He's barely just going to live. The Lifestealer is going to jump inside of him to secure his survival. Lich Ult is going to kill the VS once again. Once again, the Lich Ult really hammering everybody. This game 2, who won? Game 1. This is not game 1, this is game 2. Don't listen to Blue Jay's lies. This is game 2, Heroin won game 1. Oh no, everybody's gonna believe his lies for 2 minutes. As everyone's showing up. Wraith King, he just immediately falls. This guy just collapses. Average Peen, looking pretty bad here. He is going to live. Actually going to lose a Dark Seer, trying to get him. Was lower than he's been in a very long time. They actually have the Rubik Lich ult is doing just as much damage to the Dire as it was the Radiant. Must feel very satisfying. Wraith King, what are you doing? It's a much smaller objective, you know. Well, after a hell of a long fight and Drow buys an entire Ags, 1 for 5, Wraith King buys back to make that happen. But 1 for 5, 2 for 5, I guess, because VS very clearly died there, but her ghost is alive, so that is an 8k net worth swing, nearly. That was a big change in the gold. Going uphill has turned out pretty hard for these guys. Drow owns a LS, the later it goes. I would definitely agree with that. Just needed to hold on as long as possible here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Cliff is going to,
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
oh, they're actually going to say, hell with it, just go end. It's going to elicit a buyback from the Ember Spirit. It's going to elicit a buyback from the Live Stealer. While the buyback is deploying, they do take a set of racks, and now they're going to get back. Maybe let Wraith King take a hit on the retreat, which would be a little awkward considering he doesn't have a second life. Well, he does have a second life, but he fought back, is what I mean. Irony is rich. The Wraith King is just going to be the stool pigeon here. They're actually going to just run past the Wraith King, actually. Just going to keep trying to pursue here. Looking very desperately for kills here. Like, way too desperate. Like, they're... Because they split like this... Okay, they are actually going to still get the Wraith King up here. I'm gonna lose a Lich for it, though. I like how he gives his protest ult before he dies. But Wraith King is now going to be, like, dead forever. One of the other games was to let out, right? A whole bunch of people just showed up in chat here all of a sudden. Wraith King going for his own axe.
Bounty.
Drow still has to do something with that Yasha. She's been sitting on raw Yasha for 30 minutes. Could go in game 3 Poggers. Maybe. Does Ember have BKB Yules? No, he does not. He is not building any sort of defensive items. Which, I roasted you for doing that one week, on Puck, so it's all fair that I'm doing it for somebody else now. And your replacement. Dusty Ember could win this. Maybe, if you believed hard enough. It'd take a lot of goddamn belief, though. Teams are yo-yoing base race. Yeah. Well, I mean... When Dire went to Radiant Space, they lost 5 for 1. It wasn't. They did get a buyback out of it. Dusty Ember can't win nothing. Damn. When Dire went to Radiant Space, they lost 5 for 1. Got one buyback out of it. Got no objectives. When Radiant went to Dire's base, they got a set of racks. Lost 2 for 1. So I can definitely tell you who's winning that base race right now.
Radiant's bottom tower
Hopefully, get to see Leaf Hoodwink. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Radiant are scanning.
She has enough to buy out the Manta. She doesn't want to potentially lose her buyback, though. Damn, Mighty Midget telling Big Al to sleep in chat. You hate to see it. You hate to see a man go to sleep. Bloodthorn now out on the Wraith King. Still got his Ags queued. The Octarine out on the Darkseer. We'll be able to use his bag of tricks a little bit more often. I think this would be a pretty good game for the old funny Darkseer Ags. They do have some pretty good guys to make some big fat illusions out of. Especially that Wraith King later on. Nobody wants to see leaves, fruits, or whatever. Oof. Big leaf chat. And Drow finally got that shard I was talking about so long ago. This is an awkward way to get out of Tormentor. Everybody can't decide whether or not they want to Twingate. The ultimate answer is yes. They come through very scattershot. But yes, looking for Lifestealer here, but looking for love in all the wrong places, unfortunately, for her. Radiant just kind of takes over jungle, that's about it. Luth hits his shard like he doesn't know what it does. This is not very inspiring. Both sides just trying to dodge battles right now, it seems. Lich is here with smoke. Presumably looking to see if they can get some kind of defensive effort going, but Radiant is not having it. Radiant is actually smoking. Going south, the Lich actually kind of scares them to turning back around, going north again.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They can't decide at all, they're just sitting there.
Dire's top tower
Probably have no real idea that they got scanned out. That was a very awkward swamp, but whatever. Lich is going to go down here, has used his ult for, like, nothing. So.
Dire's top tower
Which
is
are
under
very
attack.
confident in heroine here.
Dire's
Drow
top
is
tower
hammering away at this tower here. Luth, when you're doing this, use your shard, my friend. This is literally what it's there for. Stealer is once again just going to walk out in front of everybody. Drow's going to hit BKB, hit the Hurricane Pike. Everyone's in her face and nobody is doing anything about it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Ben finally thinks about doing something about it. Lifestealer is full of Drow action charges. Drow's getting killed by herself. This Drow illusion is just murdering her. Oh, okay, she's going to get away with that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're missing the Wraith King reincarnated at this point. Once again, just walking a Drow. That's all this guy ever does is just walk at Drow. You have a shard, my friend. Use your shard. Just use your shard, man. It's not that crazy. He can't walk up at you very easily if you just use your shard. That's why you get that thing. Oh well. 1, 2, 3 for 1. That's the ultimate result, and they quickly murder the VS. Actually 4 for 1 because the Drow bought back. 4 for 1 trade. 2 buybacks. Oh no, the VS bought back. That's very rough. Nearly 8k net worth swing.
Dire's ancient is under attack.
Tyre's Ancient under attack. It's kind of funny. Yeah, this is like really bad use of the Drow shard, man. He just completely forgot it existed in that whole sequence, which was really bad. Because that's the reason that Lifestealer gets to just walk up to him. They are now doing Roche on the Dire, and Radiant has no way at all to stop this, which is really comically bad for them. Which is going to get Aeon Disc, which is also pretty comically bad for them. Need to get a Nully on somebody. Who is the question? I guess Wraith King, if anybody, but he's packing a pretty full inventory. He is going for it. He has it queued. We'll likely Ag's Blessed for that. Which will be the end of his run until he gets his moon chart, I guess. Drow is 6-slotted now. Does now have that Mantis style. Is interestingly queuing up a Shadow Blade. I guess wants to replace boots with that. Which I don't think I like too much.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
Dire take out Roche. Drow uses the illusions to push the wave. A good thing to be doing. That.
A tool to teach.
Spot Rex is
Radiant's bottom barracks are
pretty
under attack.
likely to die, I feel like. They're hesitating a lot going uphill here. They think the Drow is prepped to murder them, but no, she's not even in the same zip code right now, so... Only now TPing, and Lycio is going to get a little hammered here. He's going to pop his Manta to hit the... Oh man, the big AoE Lich stun from Rubik. Going to pop his Manta to... Oh man, everybody just got brought in, but... Oh no, Drow doesn't know where she was at. She just started walking right back into him, and now she's dead. Goodbye, Drow, and no buyback.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Rubik does some funny chains business. BS is just indeed. She's dead again. No buyback. Drow, no buyback. Ghost is just gonna get completely hammered. Wraith King is walking back in. One more go of
Radiant's bottom
it. We're gonna make a Rubik Wraith. There's that. Wraith King has his axe. To survive, Rubik buys back, Nullifier on the Abad. It would be funny if that stopped his whole right? Buyback just coming out.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle
And
barracks
hey, while we're
are under
watching
attack.
the ending of this match, you know, one last time, because I've shielded a couple of times, but you know, I really am just south of being able to get a paycheck from Twitch this month, and I really kind of need that paycheck. So if you want to be super awesome and subscribe, you are the absolute best. You would help me out a whole lot. It's the reason. The subscribers are really the reason that I'm able to do this season. So if you want to see more very cool Dota content, and you do not want to see me stop doing this in Season 21, because I literally can't afford to not be working during the time, please consider dropping us a sub.
Radiant's middle
Would
tower has fallen.
greatly appreciate it. You would have my everlasting gratitude. Wraith King buys back one more time, goes in deep, has his ult, we'll get 2 lives out of it. Darkseer Wall causing a lot of chaos here. Second life up on Wraith King, the Lifestealer gets swapped into spawn for a second. He still has Aegis, so he doesn't really care that much. Lich Ravage, true. Oh my god, Drow remembered she has this button. She walked off the statue, or the spire immediately, but she did remember she has a button. Abaddon's going to die. First life on Lifestealer. Ransom's very low. Ransom's gonna go down. Buyback in the Abad. Oh man, the Lifestealer's actually gonna get hammered here. So, after a massacre, the Game 3 dream not quite dead yet. Still looks very bad. Needed 3 buybacks. Actually got 2 buybacks on the other side in that battle, but
Radiant's top tower
I
is
think
under
2
attack.
buybacks. Hard to see because of that stupid cheese on the HUD. Yeah, 2 buybacks on one side, 3 buybacks on the other. So overall, that's going to be a victory for the Dire, despite the gold change looking like the Radiant, as I always say, does not think about that buyback money when
Radiant's
it's
top tower
calculating
is
that
under
gold
attack.
change. Radiant, once again, just marching down the lanes here. It's kind of awkward. Neither of the supports have buyback on the Dire. And TP's home. Luth should really no longer be here as a result.
Radiant's top tower is under
Yep,
attack.
2 buybacks instantly.
The
Shout outs
the
to the Mighty
underscore
Measure
just
for the big
deployed
sub.
their very first sub.
Big thanks to you. Awkward time to do it, but hey, very awesome indeed. Average ping gonna go down here. It's gonna take the fall for the Drow Ranger.
Dire
Still
are
no
scanning.
buyback, and they killed the ghost instantly. Did at the very least break the buybacks of the Lifesteal and the Ember Spear, which is like very big here, so you can't be too mad about that. Drow has gone for you do, Copless, you do. Drow has gone for the Boots of Travel here. Likely going to be just backpacking them when the Axis, or when the Shadow Blade is down or something, I don't know. Or when the cooldown is happening, rather. Nice dual Satanic. Looking for Rubik, likely to get him. Well, definitely gonna get him at this rate. Or no, he's gonna do a really slick blink here. The old Aetherlands blink. 60 minutes is about to happen. Wraith King's still dreaming about one day buying himself a nullifier. How did they not finish? We're farming kills is the answer.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top
Luckily,
tower
Radiant
has
have
fallen.
that T2 top, or they had that T2 top to force Dire to stop over there. Give themselves a little bit of time to hit some camps here. Drow desperate for this 60-minute item. She is going to get it. Just barely going to get it, but she is going to get it. Wraith King not so lucky. Dire's actually going to take this advantage now that they have Radiant pinned to their base and are going to go get their own 60-minute items. While Radiant waits for an attack, that's not actually coming. Does calculate life for the buyback? It definitely doesn't. You can see situations where you get like a 1-for-1 trade and one of the guys buys back and it calls it a win for the other team. That's like obviously not the case, so I do not believe that. Sorry to disbelieve you when you just subbed, but I am pretty confident that it's does not count that in the gold change.
Radiant are scanning.
Wraith King T3 items in, or T5 items in, T3 item. Would have been very delayed. They almost find the Wraith King here. He's able to blink TP.
A tool to teach.
Leaf scrapping in the back lines here, looking for his own T5s. I like this little partisan war that the Radiant is doing. They're finding little good ways to just like sneak through the enemy's like little blockade. Find some jungles in the back and get rid of here. Drow Ranger Shadow Bladener. Rubik T5 item is in. Does Abaddon have his? Not quite. Sort of unfortunate. I would guess that everybody on the Dire has theirs. Yep, they all do. This is a little nuts. They're actually trying to be the aggressive team on the Radiant right now, predicting, I suppose, that the Dire is split, and that is a correct prediction, though not for long, as the Lifestealer Bomb quickly dispatches the Rubik from this world. The Wraith King kills the Lich in kind. I don't know why Lich gets to have a zombie, but whatever. Wraith King is like comically dead. He is like so gone.
Top tower is under attack.
That was weird. It did not feel like they were on the same page there. Like, it feels like the Rubik and Ransoms, their former offlane, was ready for a fight in the Roche Pit, and that just did not end up happening. Brown's gonna get spotted. He still, unfortunately for him, does not have his jungle item yet. Drow thinks about going out. This is not game one. Do not listen to Blue Jay's lies.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
See, Blue Jay, if you had bought a sub, this could have been any game you wanted it to be. This could have been game 9 if you wanted it to be, but nope.
Radiant's
You're saying
top
that,
tower
you don't
is
even
under
have a little
attack.
badge by your name? Ugh.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Dire going at the towers here. They try to swap the Drow out, they miss. Luth dies immediately. Drops the split shot on the Dire.
Radiant's top tower is falling.
Nope, the Lotus Orbs stops the swap. Megas for the Dire. Dire almost seem fine to... Nope, they're not fine to stick with this.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
Rubik has the Ember Spirit bolt. Everyone getting hammered here. Ember Spirit in the Drow's face. Wraith King is actually respawned by this point. Oh, Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit almost died there. In fact, Ember Spirit did die there. Heroine next to fall. Nope. Both of the flaners are next to fall. Lost both Wraith King and the Darkseer. Oh, Leaf missed the... oh no, bad body blocking! Okay. Ooh, that was almost the griefing of the season there. I'm pretty sure the Lifestealer was just trying to jump into the Abaddon there, and he ended up jumping into a creep instead, which is a little awkward. Grimstroke ult to do nothing. This is such a long, crazy defense. Actually steal the Grimstroke ult. It's a little better on this team than the other one, but not by much still. You can see no items or skills on these two here. Lifestealer has successfully pulled Drow into Jesus Christ. It's still more buybacks. Darkseer and Ember Spirits. This one is probably going home. Yep, they just beat the Ancient to death. And with that, show is over for the Knights who say, or not for the Knights who say GG, show is over for Dungeons and Dagons. They did remarkably well for a team that lost their DM so early, but found themselves at the end of the road regardless. Oh. John very helpfully giving me some ideas. Oh, my keyboard is not affecting Discord. Oh, if the stupid thing would ever load. 2-0 for the for Heroine here. I think, unfortunately for them, even though it was not as bad, it was still pretty much second versus same as the first. It was still Drow, and at the end of the day, it was a pretty bad Drow game. And Luth did not play it that great either, unfortunately for him. In particular, he hit that char button like 2 times against a lineup where people were literally just walking at him. Every fight. So many of those fights could have been saved if he had that shard, and he just did the little spire so they couldn't just walk at him. So he could fire from longer away, so the Lifestealer could not literally just walk past the entire world to right-click him, but he did not build that. Didn't build it ever. Now, they would have had things to, like, do about that in that case, but it would have been things that would have required, like, some setup. As it was. No blinks, no bombs, not even using an ink swell. Like I said, the Lifestealer was just continually just walking around everyone else in the fight, beating up Drow's ankles, and then when she was dead, just could go at anybody else he wanted to. Ember Spirit did a very good job keeping the aggression up on her as well. That didn't help. It is just a Drow and a nasty Drow game, executed a little badly. Everything else about the lineup I like a lot. I really wish it was Luthon Wraith King, frankly, instead of the Drow. It is really the biggest issue. Like, they had a lot of that instant team fight, just steamroll power, even if you weren't going to run the Abaddon as a core, right? Let's just accept that that's going to be the case. At the very least, running a Pause 3 was going to be like, running the Wraith King Pause 1, running a Pause 3 that was also going to be able to survive the opening onslaught. Not that there were that many left in the pool, mind you, but can't wait for Game 2, true. Not that there were that many left in the pool, mind you, but something that would have survived that onslaught would have helped out a lot here. As it stood, you really just did not have a team that was enough of a wall. You did not have a team that was capable enough of withstanding that opening barrage that Heroine had, and the broadside killed them. And that's all we got to say about that. So, let's cover the Brown team. Better be scared. You don't know that. By the way, better not fucking be spoiling results over there. But anyway, let's go down the lineup. Not much to say about Dungeons & Dagons as a unit, because they unfortunately were one of the teams that had a lot of stand-ins, one of the teams where they... Oh my god!
Special thanks to Big_Al1490 for the 2-month Prime sub. #1 Anani fan.
That scared the shit out of me, but thank you. Big, super duper shoutouts to you. Again, one more time, I hate to show it one more time, but subs help out so much. So special thanks to the subs. Special thanks to you if you're even considering it. If not, at least watching the ads helps. Anyway, not much to say about the unit. Kind of had a lot of snake bit moments. Unfortunate in a lot of ways. Just consider one win. One win here against Tall Balls the other week. If they don't let the miracle happen, then they get an easier game this week against Chuck. But either way, let's do the rundown here. Starting with, let's say, Golden Dragon. Golden Dragon here. I think this is the first time Golden Dragon did an entire season as a support, rather than like starting as Pause 3 and then getting kicked down there. Definitely, when I'm looking at Golden Dragon as a support, the big word that always comes to my mind has been inconsistent. There's some games where Golden Dragon plays that support line, and he does pretty well with it, where he has a lot of impact. You saw, like, the Witch Doctor earlier on. He has a lot of impact, he's doing a lot of work, getting a lot of the job done. And then you see some games where it's like you kind of don't even remember he's in the match, and outside of maybe the fact that people are just picking his bones for a spare bit of cash. Awkward position to be in. Getting consistency, making that, you would rather have, I think, in most cases, you would rather have like a 4 out of 10 game, or even a 4 out of 10. And I'm saying that where 5 is average, not like, 7 is average, right? You would rather have a 4 out of 10 game 10 out of 10 times than you would have like, a 6 or 7 out of 10 once and then a bunch of 2s and 3s, right? Like, that's where you want to be as a support, I think. It's just getting that consistency. Playing the role more is a big part of that. Playing a couple of heroes, you don't have to play every support hero, obviously. You don't have to play 19 support heroes. Basically, everybody in LD2L will tell you that's a bad idea. But getting yourself a pool where it's like you have these heroes that you're specifically focusing on, that you're specifically leaning into, committing to them for a while, adding them to a roster, making sure that you're sharp with them when you're not actively spamming them, definitely would help you a lot. Leaf, very good season for you, Leaf. A lot of this team's successes on your back, as I said multiple times. Big performance. There's anything for you. It's almost like, I feel like I'm going to be saying this a few times this season, but like, Leaf, I don't take this the wrong way. I hope to not see you next season. Not because I don't want you here, but because I think you probably deserve to be over 4K, frankly. The pool issue that it seems like is always the case with 4s kind of exists with you, but I feel like if I was looking for something to complain about with your game, I'd be looking for a long time. A very good player this season, it felt like. Kind of had the letdown here at the end, but what are you going to do? Can't really complain. Luth, you're the odd man out. Never really felt like you fit in, unfortunately. But you were the odd man out on this team. There's things to complain about with you, especially like rust-related things, a couple of itemization-related things. It's hard to give you too much shit, because you just came in late. there's anything to work on as outside of this season, it's that problem that's been dogging you since all the way back in Season 12. It's just trying to find your voice as a player, trying to get better on that communication, asking the basic questions. I mean, again, I said it a few times. I said it about the heroine team before. You know, you feel like an asshole sometimes when you're asking those very basic things, you know. Who should I be going at? Where should I be going? What should I be doing in a fight? I mean, I think somebody on your team would have told you, like, not to just let your shard be a passive this game, right? Like, asking those basic things, especially when you feel a little lost or you feel like what you're doing isn't working, asking those basic questions, you know, in the moment you feel like an annoying asshole and you do it. Trust me, I've been there. Everybody has, I think. But if you can get better at, you know, saying, let's go here, let's do this objective, what do you guys think I should build when you don't know what you should be doing or when what you're building is not working? You know, can you guys play with me? Can you guys split from me? You know, I'm going to split push, I'm going to do that sort of thing is really what you need to work on in these seasons, because it's just been very, like, on your team last season it was a thing, on your team in Season 12 it was a thing, it's the whole time I've been here it's been a thing with you, it feels like. Always just a little, that lone wolf team, ooh, that was a stinker. A lot of it was because you just had a whole, you got to see the downside of it yourself, because you really were on, you know, a team with two guys who did that, and one guy who was just an ASMR microphone guy who just never stopped talking the whole game, and so you didn't get to think. But either way, yeah, the communication still got ground to cover there. Again, you know, sometimes it's time to just let that pride get put away and just ask those basic things, and I think it helps a lot. Average pain, good work. Good work on average pain as well. Cannot complain about your performance this season either. Average pain is, you've always been a guy I've always been talking about. Hit those B-listers, hit those C-listers. We've seen some of those B-C-list guys from you in prior seasons, and they didn't look very good, frankly. But this season, it's like you should have selected the puck, and that puck looks very different now than when you had your rookie year here, right? It looks a lot better. Again, like with Leaf, I can't really complain about you. All I can say is keep up the good work. Ransoms. I've already said this one this season for somebody else, but it goes for you too. Pos 3 is the Dota IQ position. You really gotta know, like, I guess the big thing is this. I think the most important question in the whole world is why, right? Why is the gate to a lot of knowledge? And that's the question you gotta start asking yourself if you want to commit to Pos 3, right? Why am I picking this? Why am I going here and doing this in fights? Why am I engaging with this person? You know, you figure out those lies. That's where you're at right now. It feels like, in a lot of ways, you've got that sort of dogmatic theory. You've clearly watched a lot of videos on the subject of playing a Pos 3, but it's the doctrine that it feels like you're missing, and that doctrine helps you be flexible. When you're a Pos 3 player and you're just going off of like the videos and such, you play kind of inflexibly. And we have seen this a little bit out of you this season. There's been some experimentation, but it has mostly stayed pretty safe. This game, kind of an exception if I'm being honest, but then I feel like this game is an exception because you're on a hero you weren't playing that much this season, but I did feel that oftentimes with your more conventional Pos 3s, that you're playing them a little too conventionally. You're saying, I am Centaur, I must build these, or that kind of thing. I must be here in a fight, I must engage on this person, I must tank for this or that or the other. Does feel like you were there a lot of times this season. And just breaking from that mold will help you a lot in the future. I noticed it when I talked to you as well. It did often seem like, there was a lot of like, oh, I didn't consider that kind of talk coming out of you when I was talking about things, so learn to ask and answer why. And that's how you play a good Pos 3, is learning how to ask and answer why. There's an it factor to it, which is, I would say, knowing where the period lies at the end of the sentence, that kind of thing. But knowing those lies, big for you. But either way, that's the quarterfinals now in the books. We will see you this Wednesday for all the other quarterfinals games. Well, no, 2 of the 3 quarterfinals games and something else on I'm going to be recording between then. So, shoutouts to everybody, and I will see you next time. Again, super duper ultra shoutouts to the subs.